All right, so today is one of my all-time favorite lessons of this unit. You guys are going to be reading or listening to the most incredible horror story I think I've ever read. And so I'm really excited for that. But to kind of get us into this work today, our learning target for today is that when horror writers choose to write a story, one of the very first decisions they have to make is what point of view do they want that story to be told from? That's going to create the most suspense. And so, a lot of times when a writer is going to write a horror story, they have to decide, do they want the story to be told from the perspective of, say, the victim character or the character that's being haunted? Or do they want that story to be told from the perspective of the antagonist, the character that um, is causing the conflict for our protagonist character? And so we're going to hear a little bit of details today about how authors might go about making the right decision on which point of view they want to tell their story in. And then we're going to talk a little bit about tone today as well. And so let me get this video started. We're actually going to watch just a portion of it that's going to help us most with our work today. So hold on one sec. Okay. So basically, what this is talking about today is one of the coolest suspense techniques that authors sometimes use in the horror genre is writing a story in first person point of view. And that is where we're getting the inner thoughts of a character as they tell their own story and their own experience. And one of the unique things that authors of this genre will do is they will use the point of view of a character we don't typically get a point of view from, and that is the antagonist character. So, the story that you're going to hear today is going to be told from the perspective of the antagonist character, and we're really going to get some insight into what his mind is like and whether or not he's telling us the full facts or if he's trying to sway us in a specific direction about his actions. And it's really a unique experience to read stories like that. And so, with that in mind today, I want to talk to you about this term called tone. And you should know, honestly, what a tone of voice is. It's how something is said. And, the way something is, or excuse me, what is said can change a lot in its meaning based on the tone of voice that it's said in. It's a totally different experience when a teacher says, "Hey guys, go ahead and take your seat," versus "take a seat," because the tone completely changes the mood and the feel of the environment in which we're in. And so when you go through this story today that you're reading, which I'm going to introduce in a second, I want you to think about this idea of tone. What is the narrator's tone of voice at different moments in the story? Or how do they kind of convey their thoughts and feelings and emotions within the story? And how is that sort of changing throughout? And so, as we read today, this first person point of view, I want you to think about this idea of tone and how their tone of voice changes and what that might mean for that character or for us as the reader. Now, you're going to get a resource today that goes through a bunch of different tone words that might describe how something is being said by the narrator of this story. And so I want you to be paying attention to that tone chart today as you do this work, because I think it's really going to be helpful to get to the bottom of this, the point of view of this character. And so this mood and tone video, Brain Pop, I'm going to have in Google Classroom if you would like to watch that at any point to kind of help you distinguish between what tone is. And so feel free to do that at any time. But today, you guys are actually going to be listening to this story. It's a dramatic reading of the story called Telltale Heart. It's a story that's written by the most famous horror author that exists. His name is Edgar Allan Poe. And one thing that you should know about Edgar Allan Poe is that it was said that he experienced extreme mental illness. And because of that, as a writer, a lot of his stories are written in the point of view of a character that's coming across insane. And so, in order to display that insanity, he has the character speak in certain tones to kind of creep us out, honestly, as readers. So, I want you to pay attention to in this story what is being said, and then the tone of voice in which it's being said, and how that makes us feel in this environment. So, again, paying attention to what is being said by the narrator and how it's being said. What is the tone of voice that it's being said in? And so you'll listen to that today, and then the teachers will go over the task that you're going to complete with this work. So good luck today, you guys. Use your resources. I hope you love this story. Make sure the lights are fully off today so you can get the real experience, and have a great day.